Oh my God, there's light. Let there be light. Okay. It's day, and so the sun is setting and everything. All right. This is for the GEBURAH temple, for the home. We're going to do the tower. Then the next video, we're going to do the yoke. I'm going to try to keep them pretty, like 45 to an hour a minute. We're going to be doing the 8th house nexa. And part of me is like, I'm really like reticent about giving people that I don't know 8th house nexa teachings because none of you guys have your marks yet. So know this. If I find out that you watched my video and you started abusing the intelligence that I am presenting, I will confess you in 5 seconds. Know that. I'm getting the downloads for the Russian nesting dolls or the Russian folding dolls. And the 8th house nexa is going to be built off of that platform. Now to an evil, lazy person. Russian nesting doll 8th house nexa work is crucio. Because it's replication and folding and nesting. So you have to really like have a strong level of patience and intelligence. When we first started getting the confession and confessor downloads, it was very clear that people could be confessed even up to Kater. So no, like unless you've gotten onto the Pearl queue formally, and I've said your name formally, and or you're under that umbrella, like know that there will always be these like alpha princess queens that are gonna be like plus 500 dragons. So it's really bad karma to abuse an 8th house nexa grid. Really bad karma. So let's go ahead and start with the temple. We are sitting, as of now, I'm sitting in Asaya. I'm not sitting in Bria. Normally I'm sitting in Bria. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with Asaya. I'm sorry, normally I'm sitting in Yetzirah and not Asaya. Okay, so now I'm sitting in Asaya. I'm sitting in the basement floor. I'm going to draw my cube around the home. And then you go, oh my God, it's so much easier. Especially if you've done the personal dragon egg. That personal dragon egg is an emergency like system regrid. So then I'm going to make sure that the posts are up and then the metal braids and make sure the post is in the middle of the room. I'm doing the whole floor, like a cubicle of the whole floor. Yes, we're going to do the rosy cross again, but we're starting from here. This is our access point. So don't think about the rosy cross stuff until you get the good solid access point. We'll start the rosy cross in video number 3. Some of you already got the download, like even Simon got the download, that we're going to do a world shell, like a world egg for the Gryffindor temple. So it's going to be a very different. Okay, so make sure that the middle of the posts, so in the central column, our central spine, we have our diagonals from each corner plugging into the central neural system or our spine going up the center. And then we have our 3 strands of DNA going up like Cora, and then 3 strands going down like Cora, and then spiraling like that portal, the spirit portal. So now, so for Messiah, we're going to go another cube up. And some of you can go 3 cubes up. So we'll go Messiah. So from Messiah, we're going to go Yetzirah, Bria, Atziluth. And some of you are ready to go like OA and Wa, and then have NFT be the pyramid. So that's 5 boxes up. So we're already in Asaya. So we go Yetzirah, Bria, Atziluth, Owe, and Wa. So 5 boxes on top of us. Going clockwise, we draw in the floors on all 5. Going clockwise, we draw the ceilings with the metal braids going up. So some of you might feel like you don't quite get it as good when you do it in bulk that way. That's totally normal. So I'm going to go one by one, because my energy is not even doing it very well. So we're going to go Yetzirah. We're going to draw that box in and then put the central column with the central spine, and we're going to plug it in at the diagonals. We're going to make sure that the posts are drawn upward on the 4 corners. It starts to get very organic. And then when Yetzirah feels good, you'll see the central spine start to light up. Somebody's saying they're getting so much better now. It's as you when you start processing out all your junk, you realize like all that junk was what was holding you back. It's you train your brain. All right, I'm getting better now, like a lot. I'm not like fighting for it anymore. It's starting to flow. All right, so that's Yetzirah, and then we go Bria. Yetzirah still feels weird in the back though. That's better. And then we have Bria. our second box above us. So we make sure that the floors are drawn in clockwise, the ceiling's drawn in clockwise, and then the four columns are going up clockwise. Somebody was saying the bulk, when we do it in bulk, that's for the tower spread. I tend to agree with that instead of doing it on the home temple. And make sure the central column is plugged in at every diagonal point, and that the 3 strands of DNA are going up, and then 3 strands going down. But that's Kelly. Yep. She's saying, I know we will find a way to get my books to her. Yeah. If it's between you and bringing clothes or books, I got clothes. The only problem with sending my books to Mississippi from London is the weight. Okay. All right, so then we have Absolute. So there's the floor is drawn in, going clockwise. The ceiling's drawn in, going clockwise. The 4 posts are going upward. And the metal braids are set in. And then we have the central spine growing upward. And then the 4 corners, or the 8 corners, plug in at a diagonal into the center of that spine. And then the DNA goes up, and the DNA goes down. Okay. So that's absolute. And then OA. So we're not used to doing OA like a cube. So we're gonna. So we're gonna draw in the floor going clockwise. Because we're in GEBURAH now. We did the crystal yolk for it, so we can do it. We also did the personal egg. And then we have like OA, the ceiling, going clockwise. And the 4 posts going up. Somebody go, this is way better than Netzach. Yeah. So like when you're in martial arts or in your like yoga or you're healthy and you're in your body, your central nervous system is like you're at the bottom of the cliff. Like your central nervous system's relaxed. I'm ready for war. I'm ready to deal with the attack, and so I'm not on edge, even from any astral position. It's like a sense of grounded self-confidence. Okay, and then we go. We have the central spine, and it plugs in at all 8 corners at diagonals and with the metal braids. And you're gonna find that this is new. So it's gonna braid in the inside of the central neural system, and it's gonna start creating a new grid like out of the blue. So you're gonna create like metal braids inside of the central spine that plug into the Asaya grid down here, because we haven't done that grid before. And then it will porcupine out and then start to like sprout and root into the spinal column. It feels like we get more power in Netzach, but it's like a delusional power. And then we get to GEBURAH, and it's like, now we actually have power, but it feels like a muggle. It's funny. So you might see is the initial matrix system, like 1 to 3 inch cubes are gonna wires. Like the protego totalum is already setting in that new grid for OA. So it's like all these little cubes of the metal mesh that have sprouted, and then you'll see the little pearlescent beads to help clean out any of the weird like knife rape or bad black magic stuff that will help purify and help. And then we're gonna coat all those wires with that pearlescent goo as a purification for the conduit. And then we'll coat a salviohexia grid onto it too. The honeycomb. Just real quick, because it's a new temple setup. So because I've moved, like my yoke's gonna be, I'm gonna extend my yoke from Asaya and Yetzirah for the temple setup. So if you guys want to extend your yokes, that's totally sufficient. Ultimately, this whole temple is a yoke because of the Rosy Cross egg. So just remember that. But this is like the yoke of the yoke. All right, then we're gonna do Wa. So make sure you get the floor going clockwise and then the ceiling going clockwise. Oh my God, that feels painful almost. It's because we're drawing stuff in our head. For me, the personal dragon egg where we're doing all the colors, that was painful. All right. And and then we go the 4 posts going upward. Yeah, it's not knife rape though. It's not that kind of pain. All right. I'm getting the question, and then we get the central column, and then it's going to start plugging into the central column from each corner point. I'm getting the question, are writing my pages feel painful? Actually not. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'm in a mode. I'm also getting the downloads of how to get my 300 dragons done within 15 years. And that is exciting. With a few of them at aura levels and maybe one at a confessor level, like that. And then I'll start the rest of them on aura levels, not all 300, but enough. And then I start the levels of the confessor ones. The problem is I'm having to do the galactic systems also. So then I add a couple more years to that. And then, so like we're going to get the Protego Total and Mesh, those little matrix cubes. We need to set the new central spine. The 3 strands going up, the 3 strands going down. Make sure the 3 strands are going up and down in the box below. And then from each Protego, like each little matrix cube, the pearlescent beads. And then coat each wire with the pearlescent goo. And then the Salvio Hexia grid. And this one is the pearlescent with the sparkles of blue and black. That's the old school Salvio Hexia. When we've gone through Hufflepuff and everything is just honeycomb and marshmallow, like, or then when we were doing all the Gryffindor lava charm with the Salvio, like, the Cobra acid honeycomb. God. All right. So now we got the pyramid at NFT. Never fucking touch me. So now we're going to go the bottom of it. Oh, we should do the Fianto Jury gel on everything. So the grape jelly on both those 2 new boxes. And then if you want to sprinkle the Kali pink, like I would do like these Kali pink saffron flowers, like safe from this, safe from this, safe from this. So like the, I'm going to look up saffron right now on my computer. So like, yeah, it's about a Kali pink-ish purple. It's a little more purple than pink, but still. Yeah, that's a nice Gryffindor magic. All right. If you think about the frost fairy with the frost ball with the flower, like think of the grape jelly goo around the flower. like Fianto Duri bubbles, saffron Fianto Duri bubbles. That's nice. Okay, and then we have the pyramid up at the top at Never Fucking Touch Me. So we're gonna draw in the floor clockwise with the metal braids. We're gonna put the top access point there. And then we're gonna put 2 spheres above that for our chakra system. So after Never Fucking Touch Me is Hero, and the next one's Heaven. If you want to do another sphere, Dragons. So that's our third. So through our central column, it plugs in through the third eye of the pyramid times 2, like, oh my goodness. And then it plugs in at the top of the pyramid. So that's our pineal. And then it goes through those 3 spheres up at the top. Like, we're good with Heaven, but then try to go one more into Dragons. And if you want one more, it's Jedi. All right. Okay. So you're like plugging into these higher access points of intelligence. Okay. So from Jedi, it feels good to do the 8th house Nexa egg. Because, like, I don't want to say that dragons can corrupt. But when you're, like, doing the work at Jedi level, like, there's a tuning. Like, an archangel is not supposed to corrupt. So, okay. So now from the pyramid, we have to plug in into the central column also from like the different access corners of the diagonals of the pyramid. And from the bottom corners of the pyramid into the center of that pyramid. Some of you are like, that's where my third eye is. And I go, mine's higher. Like, and then we're gonna make sure that central spine is intact, has integrity, is duplicating the imagery from the lower 2 spines. But it's new because it's the difference between a cervical vertebrae and like your brain, like then the brainstem and then your actual brain. So the pyramid one is not the same as the body ones. Because the pyramid is our head. And the rest of them is our body, even the one that is our neck. So the neck one should be Wa. And this one should be Oa. So now we understand how the world's set onto our bodily form. All right, now we go into the lower worlds. Oh no, we need the Protego Totalum mesh because of our new pyramid. Now, if you're smart, you're going to get the download that each new sphere, so like the higher spheres, have another layer of a pyramid around them. Boom, 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 boom. So it looks like a five-layered arrowhead with insets. And like each new, so this is where the Russian folding dolls already begin. And then those 5 layers of insets might start to coat the outside of your temple. So this is why I was getting the Russian folding dolls. So we have like 5 new towers, at least on the outside, and they should be plugging into the central neural system. Whoa, that feels good. And then each layer should have a protego-totalum mesh. And then this one's fast because we already built the tower form, so it goes on in an accurate way. And then the Salvio Hexia grid in the pyramids. And trust that we're going to do this from the bottom as well. And make sure in the pyramid you're getting the DNA going, the 3 spirals going up and the 3 spirals going down. And it will unify with all the different upper worlds. And it should spiral and then plug into the floor of Asaya. So it's saying teleportation access point. So know that. So there are certain temples that we'll build that will have teleportation access points. Because now, like, we're creating a safety zone that you can teleport somewhere safely instead of into a rat's nest. Because this planet is filled with bad jujus and like old demon stuff and knife rape in the astral planes that we're still battling. But like this will be, when we create our giant Gryffindor eggs, these will be our healthier teleportation access points. And then eventually we'll get the planet where it's like, okay, you can teleport anywhere as long as you've been there before. Okay. Eventually. And because we cleaned out the bottom of the clipith, we know it's an actual safe access point. And this is us just doing through Asaya, not through the lower worlds yet. So it's starting, so that spiral is plugging out and porcupining out to all the different tower layers. And we're going to get the Fianto Duri jelly also at the top of the pyramids. The 5 enfolding pyramids. With the saffron flowers and then the saffron purple balls. And it says this is the safest teleportation access point on the planet. Okay. Yo, I'm hearing we are nothing in life. And like, yeah, we are nothing. Like, Otherwise, we'd be like teleporting. So, like, what we have delusions of grandeur in our brains, it's like, oh, like my stick's not even lighting up yet. Like, get over myself. When I say Lumos, like, I don't see a giant sphere of light happening yet. So, like, we don't know what we don't know, but how much energy we're going to have to produce to make everything happen. But we do know that we have to clear ourselves of our icky karma in life. So the thing about Gryffindor is you want to get your A&R marks, period. And the other thing is the Hufflepuffers feed off of you. So you're producing all of the grids for Tiferet. Your work is what creates Hufflepuff. How, like, that's insightful. So because you're at a hierarchy, so anytime you set a healthy boundary, a Hufflepuff can breathe. Okay, so we got a good Phanto jelly on the outside of the towers, the 5 different tower layers, or 4 different period. Now we're gonna do the lower worlds. So we're definitely gonna make the pyramid NFS, and then we'll do 4 spheres below. So we're gonna go Aya, which is it should be the floor below you, or if it's not, it's another floor. But it's the floor below me right now. So I'm gonna go Aya, the floorboards. Go clockwise, draw that in. Yeah. It's different when you're at the bottom of the Clipith already, and then you're drawing in a new Aya grid. Oh, God. Okay, so then the ceiling, go clockwise. The 4 columns. So now we're really doing the lower worlds. This is what Elijah's mole demon taught me. So now we're getting those 4, and then we have the central spine going up and down. Somebody says that's kind of why, like, he's hairy, like in a fucked up evil way. Like, but yeah, like it kind of is. It's why he can turn into hairy, because he did all the lower work. So only if he actually does the work to heal, then he'll become hairy. But if he stays in, like, the narcissistic, edgy, I want to rebel against everything, including Hermione Granger, like I want to rebel against intelligence and like little girls, like, then definitely not, you know. So, like, Mother Earth, like. All right, so then we plug into the central spine. If you have to rebuild the central spine, that's okay. Like, I have and then I make sure that the pearlescent goo is through every inch, like, around the central spine. So at the 8 corners, we plug into the central spine. I finally feel the evil begin to like leave. Like it's like begin. Begin to leave. All right. So and then if you want to put the Protego Totalum mesh with the pearlescent beads on this floor, and then make sure that the DNA through the central spine goes up and down, 3 strands up and 3 strands down. Now mine's reversed this time. So the ones that are lit up are going down, and the ones that are not lit up are going up to latch on to the lit up ones in the higher worlds. So it's like a tantra balancing mechanism. And then it lights it up. We're like putting light into the planet. Like it's like a demon reaching out for their hand to an angel and then binding, and then the demon heals itself. But I don't like, that's probably the better metaphor. If you saw my Facebook, it's like the picture of Kylo reaching his hand out for Rey when he's drowning in the water on the upside down world. Okay, so then we have the Protego mesh with the pearl beads. And somebody like, God, that feels good. Like it's a whole new platform to walk onto. I'm being asked, how many pages have I done for the Protego Totalum equals knife rape goes into the lava or cobra acid? I've done about 30 pages. I need to do more. I need to get 3 books done to feel confident about it, but I'm gonna try to do a page a day for like 5 days a week. I'm just trying to juggle like 50 things right now, so. And it's all triage. It's all in a reactive space, like, I have to do this and this and this and this, and like figuring out my organization system. And figuring out like what level you guys need to be at just to be at like an acceptable safety space. All right, and then we're gonna do the salviohexia. Now, if you feel like you need to be at my level, it's because you want to be on the Pearl Q and you want to do the same level that me and Kelly are doing. And if you actually feel that way truly in your heart, you need to send me an email. And we need to have discussions. And you need to be like showing me the work you're doing and submitting it like Kelly does. And then I'll be like, this needs to be fixed, or we need to add this, this. So it's more cooperative than me bossing you around. I can guarantee you that. Like Kelly will send me downloads and I'll go, I know what that is. All right. The salviohexia, and then we have the new pearlescent goo. Now, if you're at this space where You're like, oh, I'm so grossed out that these other boxes aren't filled up. Get these boxes filled up. And then get the saffron purple bubbles. So which boxes did we not fill up? We did not fill up Asaya, Aya, O. No, I'm sorry. Asaya, Yetzirah, Bria, Atziluth. We filled up OA and we filled up WA and NFT. So we have Asaya, Yetzirah, Bria, Atziluth. 4 boxes that are not filled up. So all the Protego Totalum mesh. With the pearlescent beads at all the little intersections. And then we make sure that all the wires are coated in the pearlescent goo. Now, pearl should have access point to cobra acid inside of it. And that's why we use that color. It doesn't have a lot, but it's an access point. You might have a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna do this salviohexia goo, honeycomb goo through all 4 of those boxes. And it says, I have no problems in life. Okay, so this is where I'm like, I have no problems in life. Like, I have a $4,000 computer bill I cannot pay. I have like, I need to go move to Mississippi because my boyfriend no longer wants me here. And like, so emotionally and like maybe spiritually in some respects, I have like no problems, but the way that we perceive our reality is very slim. Like, so the ocean is filled with junk, and I'm saying to myself that I have no problems in life. Like, what planet am I living on? Like, I can barely get Gracie above the abyss. I have no problems in life. Okay. Like, we're just starting to get Gracie above the abyss. That's the 3rd kid. And we're just starting to get, like, Kelly's clique kids into, like, Netzach. Her sons. The girls were faster and easier. The boys are really challenging. They don't mutate as fast. They carry a lot more heavier energy. But then when we get it going and get it going in the right way, then they become powerhouses. It's different. Okay. Somebody's saying it's Netzakian of me to like magical families instead of muggles. Okay, so like perspective. I don't treat muggles bad. They have karma, and that's why they're muggles. Because otherwise they'd be writing A&R protocols all day long. And they'd be above the wheel of karma. So, like, I don't want to torture like, I'm not going to do sex crimes or torture muggles, even in a passive wavelength. So that's a Netzakian. So, gross. So we have the Fianto Duri gel on all of those 4 boxes, and then the saffron bubbles. Yeah, we can do our Repello Muggletum stuff and all that, but we're going to do that in the next video when we're doing the yolk. We've got about 10 to 20 more minutes of just building this tower. All right. So that was Aya, and then filling up these. Now, if you start to see the blue Patronus butterflies, that's the generic Patronus charm. So, like, those are the Patronus angels coming through. To, like, help. Or clean or cleanse the area. All right. So then we're going to do one more tower down, and it's O, the world of O. So we're going to make sure we're going to draw on the floorboard going clockwise with the metal braids. We're going to make sure the ceiling is resealed going clockwise, and then we're going to draw our 4 posts going up, up with the metal braids. And we're plugging in our central spine with our jelly. And then from each of the 8 corners, we plug in at a diagonal. And we have the 3 DNA strands going up and the 3 DNA strands going down. I'm hearing the word 4, but I'm going to stick with like 3 is enough. Like, so we did. And then we're going to get our Protego Totalum mesh. Oh my God, that just built a new house foundation. Oh my God. And then the pearls, the pearlescent pearls at each of the intersections of that mesh. Now, if you're feeling that we like cheated because we didn't get all the DNA access points past the world of Jedi, so take from the top and go, and you're gonna try to find Mother Andromeda, and she's gonna hand you a DNA chain. So you just link into her DNA chain, and you start to weave your wires into the DNA chain she provides. And that's it. Simple. Okay. That's the primary basis for how we're going to build our 8th house system. All right, so back to the world of O. beneath our feet. So make sure that your wires, your mesh, Protego Totalum mesh, is pearlescent gooed on all the meshes. Yeah. And then we go salviohexia beneath that. The honeycomb. For me, it's like a honeycomb sloth. like giant slough of honeycomb. Like it fell from the sky and then just crashed on whatever is gross down there and then coats it in intelligence and drowns it. All right, so then that salvio is honeycomb is pearl with spots of blue and black. The black tar heroin and the cyan patronus-y griffin-y blue. Okay. That feels really fucking good, even through my root chakra. And it feels like it can breathe. All right. Okay, so now we do our Fianto jelly, our grape jelly. And remember, we're going to do the 5 tower layers when we get our triangles at the bottom for the lower worlds. And then we have the saffron bubbles. Now, at this point, you might be putting a layer of Gryffindor lava honeycomb on each ceiling and floor. Ceiling/floor. And then it will be coated in a Griffin blue paste. And that's just to clean up any of the damage or black magic or filth. And you might have it, you're going to have it on the outsides of the walls too. It's to help. So we're going to do it all the way up. Yes, you'll do it on the pyramid, at least the first one. On the world of Never Fucking Touch Me. And with the paste. Okay. If that brought up stuff for you, it's just because all right, now on the all those Griffin blue pastes, I'm going to insert the saffron flowers and have them coated in saffron flowers. Yes, we can definitely make the saffron flower another flower for GEBURAH. It has a 5th, 6th house kind of love to it. That's actually more the 6th house color, which is why a 6th house person, like you rehab them, or they're almost like Jedis. They're Buffys. And again, Buffy is like a really important figure for a Gryffindor Seraphim reality. All right. Okay, we're gonna go another layer beneath us. Aya, oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna draw on the floor. Going clockwise in metal braid. So now we're getting the initiation of concrete. So I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna go brick. So now we're gonna, our next grid is gonna be different. We're gonna take the initiation of brick. And we're gonna build brick walls all the way up. From the two worlds below, from our already currently sanctioned tower structures, and then all the way up to the pyramid. So the lava was there to like purify and then begin to create like a mortar. And then with the 5 layers, we're gonna have 5 different layers of brick. So you should probably have 5 different layers on the outside of each tower of the lava with the Griffin Blue paste. We'll go through this whole thing again for the lower worlds that we do beneath Aya. Or O. We'll do it beneath O again. But for right now, we're getting our top. Okay. So we have the mortar, which is the Griffin Blue paste with the saffron flowers. And then we have the brick. Now, if it goes on kind of messy, it's okay. Like, we'll straighten it out. It's harder than the normal tower to then get the 5 layers on the outside, but we'll do it. So when that Griffin Blue paste melts, it will feel like it will melt into like a concrete color, like mortar. So it'll look like a normal brick wall that's strong and hardy. Okay, so we're back to our lower worlds that are completely undeveloped now. Now feel the difference between O and Aya and the rest. So that's why sometimes we break apart. We break apart the tower structure so we can feel how different they are. Now, if you're getting the grid to coat the candy apple red paint on the brick, that's like legitimate seraphim love. I'm not really doing the brick on the inside of each tower, but definitely on the outside structure. Okay. Hearing the question, when are you going to start posting the Hufflepuff Cook meditations? I think Sunday we're going to get the first one up, and that will be the 4D Netzach body into the 5D Ascendio body, the different reptile bodies. So the 4D Netzach Slytherin into a 5D Tiferet dragon. And then there'll be like a Hufflepuff bodysuit attached to it. And then the next one will be something else. But that will be our first. Okay. So we're drawing in the floor of the world of uh-oh. And we hit that concrete block, and then now we're fine. It's no longer concrete because we got the lesson. Now we're drawing in the ceiling. The ceiling. And then we're drawing in the 4 posts going upward, and all of them are on metal braids. And then we have the central spine. And then from the 4 or the 8 corners, we're going to plug into the central spine at a diagonal. We're going to make sure the pearlescent glue or goo is at the central column. We might slow it down a little bit. The 3 DNA is going up and the 3 DNA is going down. Okay, so then we're gonna go with the Protego Totala mesh. And then the pearls on the intersections of the mesh, the middle mesh. And then the pearl goo on each of the wires. I envision it like I'm like spray painting it with like a weed killer machine or like a bug killer machine. So it's a giant sprayer. And it sprays it all on. And then we do the salviohexia. Goo. Yeah, that feels good. Add some of that Patronus blue, like specks of blue, and the black tar heroin black. Okay, and then we're going to do the Fianto Duri jelly. And with the saffron bubbles. So we'll do the massive, like the brick and the other cleansing when we get the rest of the boxes built. All right, so that was uh-oh. And then we're gonna go Oko. We're gonna draw on the floor, Oko, going clockwise, the metal braids. And we're gonna draw in the ceiling with metal braids, going clockwise. The 4 posts going up, 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 up. Metal braids, the central spine neural system. Going up. Make sure there's the pearlescent glue down the center of it. From the 8 corners, we are going to plug in to the central spine. And then we are going to have the three DNA strands going up and the three DNA strands going down through the central spine. The spirit portal. So this is bringing up everything that happened over the last 9 months. Because when stuff happens, it doesn't go away. What it does is it sits in the emotional bodies in the underworld. So every time we are setting a new grid, it brings up all the baggage. Okay. So we're going to do the protego-totalum mesh. We're going to have the pearlescent mesh. With the pearlescent, the little pearls at each intersection. And then the pearlescent goo or glue. So I'm feeling Star coming in and Star saying the punishment for magic on this planet is knife rape. And that's her stance in life. That's what she stood for. I deserve it because I'm going to do magic. Like a psychopath. Somebody that is why the Mayan lineage is confessed. There was one person that came through. Oh, Emily Barnes. Like, Emily is not a confessed person as of this moment. Like, Zabi's daughter. Like, she was one of the people I did not write down on my list of unconfessed Mayan lineage people. So that protego-totalum, all of the wires are sprayed. And then we have the salvio-hexia goo. And remember, the central column is the 3 strands going up and the 3 strands going down. Somebody says, we didn't get that the underworld mattered. The underworld is where every inch of magic and karma takes place. So it absolutely matters. Is the foundation, is the soil that feeds your food. So that's salviohexia that was sprinkled with blue and black tar heroin. And then we go the Fantoduri grape jelly. Now it's starting to feel like we're standing on good, solid ground. So Star doesn't even understand that she doesn't own Kabbalah. God does. The angels do. And she's not even an angel, so she can't ever own Kabbalah. Biblically, historically, the angels came and descended from the heavens to teach Kabbalah on the planet. So nobody can own Kabbalah. Yay, she still won't leave me alone. So I think I'm hitting a world where she has like a pocket of energy that's just coming up. All right. Now we have like grape jelly with the saffron bubbles in that fourth world. So we did Aya, O, and Oko. Now we need to do pedal. We're going to do NF. So we just need one more box. So pedal. Draw on the floor, going clockwise. So this is a new one. So it might feel like it's watery instead of earthy because we haven't really set that intention yet. You might want to do a Protego Totalum mesh already just to start to build the structural grid. Because the other ones we filled with like earth and the elements, and now this one's brand new. And so like let's kind of fill it with some earth, maybe some water, air, and fire, and spirit goo. And make sure the pearls are on the Protego Totalum mesh, and then put the Fantoduri goop slough on there. So that we're just gonna create like a sludge for that pedal grid. It's a new foundational layer. And then we're gonna layer in concrete, see if we can get that one going. Or terracotta. We're gonna do terracotta. Okay. So from here, we're gonna go, now this feels better. I love, okay, so the feeling of terracotta is holy. It's so divine. And it's simple and it's classy. and it holds the God energy very well, and it's inexpensive. It's a divine Mother Earth clay, like God is in the earth energy. Okay. So we're going to make sure the ceiling gets built going clockwise of pedal. And then we have the 4 posts going up with the metal braids. And then we have the central column, nervous system. And we'll break through the terracotta very easily. And we have the 3 DNA strands going up and down. And then from the 4 corner access points, we do diagonals into the central neural system. That's pretty easy. Okay, now we're going to do another layer of the Protego mesh. With the pearls. And then the spray. The pearlescent spray, goo spray. And then we're going to do the honeycomb sloth salvio hexia goo. And then we're going to do the fianto purple goo with the saffron bubbles. All right, and then we're gonna have the last pyramid. We're gonna have the pyramid, and that's no room for sorry. So we're gonna draw in the ceiling. We're gonna draw in the bottom access point for the pyramid. The bottom vertice. We're gonna do the diagonals going downward. And the central spine. We're going to plug it into our pituitary and our pineal. We're going to draw the wires plugging in through the pituitary, through the pineal, the 2 pituitary holes, through the pineal hole. And we're going to make sure that the 3 strands glowing and going up and 3 strands going down go through the central spine. And then there's the pearlescent goo or glue. And this is Charlie's horntail we're going to end up creating. So let's go ahead and get the Protego totalum mesh, or wait, the diagonals going into the central spinal column. It's weird on a pyramid, but we'll figure it out. I just take it from the halfway point from the diagonals and then put that in diagonally into the center. And then from the 4 corners. Now you should start feeling like the I have no karma grid come through, and it should start bubbling up. Just red bubbles. Those are red self-defense bubbles. It should start bubbling up and creating a gas throughout your home. If I had karma, it was like planetary karma. Mostly. But we still did what we raped the planet to death. Just so you understand. So I was part of it the last lifetime, but I was part of it this lifetime as a teenager, as a 20-year-old. So a decade of planetary rape instead of planetary cleansing. Every time you buy a packaged good, it's like a form of planet rape. And you guys, like your brain, your matrix brain, rationalizes and licenses it it normalizes it, like that's fine, and then doesn't add up the calculations. So it's very much like needing to count calories in life to make sure you're not going to get overweight. When you develop a healthy lifestyle, you just normally understand the karmic consequences to your actions. But when you're in like karmic debt, you make 5 million choices. That usually make or break. So little red spheres are going to help. They'll help clear out stuff passively. All right. So that we're at the Protego, we're at the Fianto Dirt. Wait, we're at the Salviohexia at the pyramid. Salviohexia honeycomb. We did the spray and the pearls for the Protego Totalum. Now the spray here is like a lilac-y saffron purple. And then we're going to spray it all the way up and through the bricks that we've already created on the outside. So it's a new like health color. And then we have the Salviohexia, and then we have the Fianto Dairy Grape Jelly. And then saffron bubbles. Yay. All right, so then we have our 4 access points below. And we're gonna talk about those worlds in 5 seconds. So we're at NFS. We have P Christ below. So plug into that pearl, and then the one beneath that. And then you're gonna create the pyramid, triangular structure around, and make the towers go up to these higher worlds. Up to Asaya. Where it's like on the outside. And then we have, so that's a healthy Russian nesting doll. And then we have the Protego totalum on that with the pearls and the pearl spray. And then we have the salviohexia. And we have the Phantoduri and the saffron bubbles. Okay. So we're entering a really healthy access point. Punish, Christ. They're just a temple. And then the ground beneath us sinks into like a red light health. And we haven't even done the Gryffindor lava in these lower worlds yet. Okay. Or the bricks. Okay, so then we have the next access point underneath is not. So get that next access point and the next triangle, pyramid, with the Protego totalum and the pearl beads and the pearl spray. The salviohexia honeycomb, and then the Phantoduri jelly, and the saffron bubbles. Yay. Okay. And then we have the next is good. The next access point is good. And we get the pyramid. Man, if I had bad karma. Like, I don't even want to rip a leaf off of a tree, okay? Like, yeah, somebody said I wasn't like that as a kid, though. That's true. So we don't endorse knife rape or sex crimes at all as a karma or karmic punishment. Because even if people don't have good karma, like Star Fuentes does not have any good karma. That does not mean that she's going to get knife raped. So we don't perpetuate those kind of karmas, or we don't perpetuate sex crimes. Okay, so like that. And that way it's not crazy making. And then those people get confessed instead of like slaughtered with inhumane forms of magic or alchemy. Okay, so we're at good. So we got the pyramid with the Protego, and we have our next layer in the tower with the Protego, because we're still doing the Russian nesting dolls from the lower worlds, from the lower pyramid, and we're folding it up with the pearl beads. And then we have the Pearl Spray. And then we have the Salviohexia. That's like saying, that is correct. That is like saying that Gandalf's karma is dealing with Belrock. Like, Belrock was everyone's karma. Like, and the orcs' karma. Okay, so like, but Gandalf still had to deal with Belrock. Like, because Belrock existed. So like Belrock existing and having to, like, that was Gandalf's karma. That, just that. So that's the only way. And that's why it's not like Crucio on your soul. Okay, the Fiantoduri jelly. And the saffron bubbles. That's not good. And then we got not good. We got P. Christ. Not good. And then the next one's great. So we got that one. And we're going to ask Mother Earth from Clippeth Id to provide us the DNA chain to link in glowing lower or going lower from the really lower worlds. So we can link into the intelligence. But we need to get the pyramid from the 4th access point. And then we have the Protego. So that one's great. So this is where I like here, because at the worst it's like not great. Instead of like not good. So then we're still in good. Do you understand the deductive magic math on that? There's a magical lock. So here we're good. We're not great, but we're good. And then the next level is God. So then so it's awesome. So here we're good. So we are from good to Jedi. But this is the world of great. But it's really the world of not great. And you need to understand that. We're at Jedi and not great. And that's fine for a beginning Gryffindor. Because where Gryffindor is where good begins. Okay. So we get our 5th pyramid and the 5th layer on the outside of the lower worlds of the temple. So we have the Protego Totalin mesh with the pearls, and then we have the pearl spray. And then we have the Salvio Hexia. And then we have the Fiento Duri Jelly with the saffron bubbles. All right. Now, the next thing we do are through the lower worlds. We do the lava honeycomb, Gryffindor lava honeycomb at the floors and ceilings, and then the walls, and the different layers of the outside of the tower. And then we have the Griffin paste on each one. And then it's like, oh, my higher bodies feel like they're higher bodies in my Clippeth body. So I'm still writing my knife rate papers because I'm doing the aura levels. Right now I'm on Geo. So it keeps getting better the lower I get. I'm doing the pedo at the same time. Okay, so we did the Griffin lava and then the Griffin blue paste. And then we put the saffron flowers on the Griffin blue paste through all of it. Up and down on the ceilings, the walls. And then we're gonna do, on top of that, we're gonna do the bricks. And the 5 layers of brick on the outside. And then we're gonna do brick in between each level of our tower on the ceilings and floors. So my body is saying this is the first place where I'm actually starting to feel good. That's important in life. So it's like now I could start a yoga practice and feel like I'm moving actually forward. Instead of like vanity yoga, which is like trying to move forward, but then having all this gross underworld karma or something like. So I tried to do like all the energetic anatomy first, and then I can move forward with the rest of my life. Now Misty Copeland did it the other way around, and she's going to be a god too. So she hasn't developed the subtleties of the mind as much as I have at all, and she will get there soon. So she's pretty, she's intense in the astral fields. But she's good. She's like a good girl. Okay. So you should start to see the red start to bubble up from the floors. We're going to paint the candy apple red on the brick on the lower worlds, all 5 layers, and the ceilings and floors. And then we're good for the tower. And we're going to give it a few more minutes. So we're going to do like the Patronus. Somebody's saying, thank God. So we're going to do the Patronus slates on the outside of our last layer of our brick. They're folding slates, like a roof. And then they're going to be covered in the Griffin blue and the white ether smoke. And that's just asserting, like, this is a positive place. This is Expecto Patronum blessed home. So I'm going to have like a defense, like create a defense mechanism system on my home that it's like, it's protected by my own Patronus charm. I'm not doing the actual animal on the insets of the slates, but if you live alone, like you definitely can. Like, I'm just doing a generic. People are like trying to save me, going, nobody agrees that you had any karma. So that's okay. It's like Zahir is Korra's karma. It's that. It's that in life. I didn't kill off that bad guy the last time, or I didn't teach him correctly, or something went wrong. I didn't tell Star off like I needed to when I was living with her, or I needed to say 500 million things that I never did. So then that, like, so it's that's the karma. And so I enabled her bad patterns. And like, I didn't tell her what a narcissist she was. I didn't tell her like a lot of things. I didn't tell her about the body karma. I didn't tell her about her laziness or her inability to do her own work and then projecting all like stealing from everybody else. I didn't tell her about the illegalness of like owning magic, like for financial. So then it becomes my karma because I didn't take care of it. Okay, so all that Patronus, Griffin blue is in the slates all the way down through each pyramid, on top, like on the pyramid up and the pyramid down. We're only doing 1 layer of the slate. And then the etheric Patronus dust or gel, or it's a combo of both. Marshmallow goo that turns into like air, smoke. Yay, positivity in just the tower, and we have barely begun. All right, Kali Ren out.